I don't microwave my pizza. No, I have frozen pizza. 1 pound pizzas. I've never been the type of person that just sort of orders food or anything like that. I can't understand it. I'm too stubborn with my money. Like, I was raised that way. To be sort of like as stingy as possible, practically. So it actually hurts. It physically and mentally hurts me to sort of like spend money needlessly. Like 16 quid or something. Or 12 quid on a pizza when I can get one for 1 quid. Do you see what I mean? Anyway. So, the other semi-finals are here. With Undead Mirror. Guvnor at the bottom left as the red undead. Starting off Crypt Altar. Against AllTheSmoke. Sneaking his altar at the back. Where's the crypt though, Mr. Smoke? Where is the crypt? There you go. So Guvnor is a pretty solid undead player. He's beaten me before in 1 versus 1. If he goes through, I'll have to fight him. If not, then I will fight AllTheSmoke. So whatever happens here, I'll be fighting the victor. So I guess I'm against undead no matter what. Human versus undead. Well, I'm not actually that worried. Like, I think from a professional point of view, human versus undead is the hardest matchup. But from my perspective, I actually don't find undead that hard to beat. I think there's a lot of opportunities to stop undead or to bring an undead to a sudden stop, you know, halt their tracks throughout the process of the early to mid game. Basically, it's upon the undead to make mistakes. So at my level, you're more inclined to make mistakes. So you've just got to try to exploit that, like the Death Knight getting a bit too greedy and then getting himself surrounded and things like that. You need to look for those kind of opportunities. I could actually practice Sunny's build. Well, I say practice. I haven't actually really put it into proper play yet. But Sunny's got a rifleman build that's very solid. 4 peasant start instead of the 3 peasant start, which seems like the best way to go to getting off to a good start, because you can still get the lumber as long as you just keep the peasants on the wood for long enough. And there's no rush to creep because, well, you can't really creep that fast with a paladin and a rifle anyway. Wow, Crypt Lord. This is it. Guvnor likes his fast expansions, and this is what caused me problems in the past. If I fight against Guvnor, I'm going to have to work out a way to deal with fast expansions. And I don't know the meta style of handling fast expansions, because the Crypt Lord is a scary beast. He gets so many units with the beetles, the ghouls, the skeletons, that when you try to harass the expansion, they typically level 2 so they can impale you. And if you're unlucky enough, you get yourself surrounded. If you're lucky and you don't get surrounded, you still got to fight through all of those units. I think Sunny mentioned that the key really is just to try to delay the expansion. You can't necessarily stop it, but you can kill the gold mine, which really goes a long way to just dragging it out. But I don't know whether you then counter expand or just concentrate on tier 2, mass 50, then 50 to 60 food and go. Do I want AllTheSmoke to win? Possibly. But, I mean, whoever wins is going to win. So, Guvnor is mixing it up, making it look like he was going to go for the top expansion, but coming over here. But we have AllTheSmoke, who has seen the trails and is on the way. Is he able to land a coil on any of these vital creeps, denying some experience on the Crypt Lord? First skeletons are up. Guvnor looks like he doesn't even have that many units at this point, and they're pretty injured. This orange creep camp is not giving much quarter. Ah, the coil takes the first, and Guvnor is left with only a couple of injured ghouls being picked off by the skeletons. This is going really well for AllTheSmoke. There's almost nothing left. There's not many beetles on the field, and he's got how many? He's got 2 skeletal rods left versus 3. Guvnor's brought in more ghouls, which will solidify. He's confident enough to put down the gold mine, but there's still the creeps to deal with. Worm Kim, thank you very much there for the sub. I would say that this has gone pretty nasty because Bloodlust has spread onto all of the creeps, and they are packing quite a punch. But the cigarette is up, and the cigarette can actually catch a lot here. So whilst AllTheSmoke has done a fantastic job of trying to delay this expansion and also not getting surrounded, which was really important there, I feel like this Ziggurat is going to seal the deal in a moment. It's hard to fight against the Nerubian slow because it's crazy OP. It's like 80% slow or something stupid. Watch out, do not get surrounded on your hero. Just keep an eye the whole time. Oh, the surround is so close. He's squeezing through and he manages to make gaps. Okay, so this has gone about as well as it could do for AllTheSmoke, because I've never seen a creep camp take this long to go down. This is a really long time coming, but of course the Nerubian helps so much by just completely nerfing the attack speed of these units. And he... Oh, okay, nice pickup there. Extra movement speed as well as the regen. He's really making this expansion clunky as possible, but the expansion goes up nonetheless. Can he get the coil? Oh, I don't... No, there's not enough time. Claws of attack +9 go to the Crypt Lord. And I think that's all the smoke can get from this. So his tech is almost halfway through to tier 3. How do I do the cam trick? I don't normally observe games. Do not get that fiend surrounded. Zoom. Yeah. Is it just zoom? Nah. It's harder than that. If you zoom in, just roll the mouse wheel back to normal. I did. Okay. I guess we are zoomed back. I think from an observer's point of view, you start the camera back a little bit more. It just looked like I was zoomed in. I'm going crazy. I feel like AllTheSmoke is taking so many gambles, but is it going to pay off? It does. Wow, these are bold moves. Very bold moves. There's so many moments where he could have been caught there. The expansion does pay, though. And the Crypt Lord is brought back straight away as if nothing happened. Oh, so close to another surround here. Tech on the way to tier 2. He does have that going for him, so at least he's not still at tier 1. He's got a second crypt. Is he going to go very heavy on ghouls? But they're still going to be useless during tier 2. So comes down to how quick you can get to tier 3 then. Because if you go fiends, you do leave yourself vulnerable versus ghouls. Orb of Corruption for AllTheSmoke. Most likely. The tier 3 pickup. So his tech and his game is on point. But the thing is the expansion isn't the expansion, right? It's such a powerful play. Even if it took everything that it took to get it. I don't know what you do versus that. If you counter expand, is it too late? Are you too vulnerable? Will it get stopped? I'll tell you what I would do actually. He's powerful enough to creep the Goblin Lab. I would probably do the Goblin Lab, Zep, come over here and do this crit camp and get the expansion here. And the only way Guvnor could stop that would be with gargoyles, and gargoyles don't kill things particularly quickly. We've got Obsidian Statue. It's a push into the undead base. Slaughterhouse coming up, but won't last. Halls of the Dead. More creeping for Guvnor. Easily going to make it to level 3, which could be a big deal, because level 2 beetles. Ah, tier 3, of course, with the third hero. Slaughterhouse being stopped, so Guvnor is going for crit fiends now. His gold mine is exposed. AllTheSmoke taking the advantage of the situation. Is there no town portal? No town portal, of course. So this is an expensive loss. So this was another great play, to be fair, because it's like, well, if I don't get my own expansion, I'm going to make it as if you only have one base by killing everything in your main base. Because at the moment, Guvnor can't compete versus the quality of the units and the heroes that AllTheSmoke has. So I think we might be in for a relatively quick finish here, unless Guvnor can buy enough time with the ziggurats and the crypts to sort of stabilize. It's pretty hard for AllTheSmoke to seal the deal here. If he can pick off a Fiend or two and keep those numbers low, he's in with a good shot. Crypt Lord only half health, not able to stick in the fight for very long. One Fiend going down here. So that's looking really good for AllTheSmoke. Just has to not overstay his welcome or lose too much and give the Crypt Lord too many choices. Crypt Lord's got all these claws, but he's struggling to use them because he can't get too close without being right-clicked with the Overwhelm, which is of course the Overcorruption. Now we have the slow from the Halls of Death, which will make it much easier to focus a particular hero, which puts AllTheSmoke into a position where he's kind of forced to Town Portal, so there you go, losing the position now. Does a lot of damage to the base. I think you really just have to go for an expansion now. I don't see any reason why you can't go for an expansion, because I don't think Guvnor's in any position to stop it. Even if he saw you take this expansion right here, he can't stop you. And then you can even up. Overwhelm. It's the noise that it makes. Wham, wham, wham. Yeah, commentating is definitely a bit more relaxing than playing, but I won't get to commentate the next game because I have to play it. Or should I say, the final at least. Because this is just the beginning of this, which is the best of 3. Lich is going to be soaking up all the points. A level 3 Lich. Nice level 2 Nova. The best colour for undead. Yellow, maybe? The kind of golden looking colour. Looks really badass on undead.
Players' forces are under attack.
It gives them that kind of Egyptian vibe, because a lot of their architecture has a kind of Egyptian style to it, almost. You like red though, do you? It's quite menacing red, but I don't know. It's a bit too standard. Hello there, Himeda. Red makes you angry, does it, angry Korean man? I figured you was just angry all the time. So someone could be red and you'd still be angry regardless of what colour they were. Banshees. Ugh, yeah. This is an issue, right? Banshees. Your spell damage versus Banshees is going to be like next to none. So Impale is going to do pretty much nothing other than just irritate. A flyby, picking off a few acolytes. We've got the invul on the Lich. Lots of bonus skeletons thanks to the acolytes. Guvnor coming into position has picked up his triple hero combo. But he's not in any position to stick around for long. AllTheSmoke, has he got his hero? Oh my goodness, that Lich kill. That coil was basically on the Lich there, wasn't it? Ah, he gets the hero. So, now there's just the Crypt Lord. But there are a bunch of themes. 47 food, 57 food, and a new secured expansion. This has had like 3,500 gold mined out of it so far, and he's having to constantly build acolytes just to keep replenishing. Destroyer play, the 1-1. Quam. Quam. More creeping for Guvnor. He's keeping everything in this. Not splitting the heroes for particular types of experience. Just bringing them all along for the ride. Swap of the items. Giving the Lich the DPS. Claws on this Lich as well. See, when I played Undead, I almost never got Dark Ranger third hero. I don't know if she's easy or not, but it just always felt weird to me, the Dark Ranger. I actually feel more comfortable with a Crypt Lord as a third hero or a Pit Lord. Harass the expansion. Probably no town portal. Anything nice? There was a pretty nice item there. This Lich has got plus 25 damage. Acolytes are paying the price for trying to repair the cigarette. A repositioning is in order as 2 players get ready to battle.
A player's forces are under attack.
Going for the high ground, are we? Ah, you've seen the movies. Yeah, he's been scared off. AllTheSmoke coming back in with his 71 food army. Guvnor.
A town is under siege.
Recuperating. Trying for another shot. Top down. What's your best bet here? Pick off the Banshees. Obsidian statues if you could possibly do that. Fiends next. It's always the dream if you can kill the Lich, because the Lich does by far the most amount of damage. He makes everything else do damage as well. Just feels like Guvnor's being bullied at this point. He doesn't have a backup expansion though, so he has to keep this alive. He's stuck at 50 food cap here, so 57 out of 50 food. So he can't even, he's got to spend his items on, his money on items from the shop, like Scroll of Healing and such. Because he's up against an 80 food army. The Guvnor with the unsummons. Where do you go from here? He's bought a scroll, a town portal, invol. I guess maybe trying to cancel a potential enemy expansion before having to town portal to his own base, but he's heading over to the red spot. So fishing for more experience as well as a good item, instead of forcing your opponent into their expansion and not attacking your main base.
I have returned.
Welcome back, Maximeg. Did I say thank you to Floppy? Thank you, Floppy, for the sub. I think Damo, of course. And we had Kim before that. Anything good? Got the Stormwind for damage mitigation, Wand of Mana Stealing. Trick is trying to remember to use that at this point in the game. Taking 50 mana away isn't that big a deal when heroes have got 400 mana. Do I participate in this tournament? Yeah. I fight whoever is the winner at this best of 3 between these 2 players. That is a scary army. Like, I don't know what I would do versus that. Panic, probably.
A town is under siege.
The Beatles have moved in. This is their home now. AllTheSmoke catches a couple more acolytes. More food for the Dark Ranger as she brings in the Dark Minions. Oh, there goes the Sapper. Money spent on the Sapper as well. He's trying to really push this expansion down quickly so he doesn't have to take too long before he has to town portal back to his base. He's got the 2 SIGs which help a lot. It makes it much harder for AllTheSmoke to stick around. Did he get this? Yeah, he finished that. Okay. Doesn't get everything. Really good position here though. Banshee's caught off on the left hand side. Massive damage. Those could all... Oh, the town portal saves a good chunk of those. So that was a good time on the town portal because he would have lost a few more there. Guvnor needs to essentially get back and stop this expansion. Because... I don't know, he's going for another red spot now, isn't he? I guess you can do this, because it's still going to take a while before this builds up. He's sending the Beatles. AllTheSmoke with the 4 free heroes versus the 4 free and where are the Lich? Free. It's actually more even than you would expect it to be. Hey Teddy, thank you. What race have I been playing? I played a bit of random at the start and I played human most recently. I think human is my main race, but it's a shame because I make so many mistakes when I play human. But I don't feel as comfortable with the other races, I think. Is that level 5 Crit Lord? I think you can go level 3 Beetles and still be okay. Destroyer... How much damage? Is it 250 damage to summons? How much health do level 3 Beetles have? You might still just go with the Impale though, just for the damage. And the stun. I mean, if you've got web, you can bring down those destroyers pretty easy. As long as you've got a good position. Bigger threat on the main base. There's a time limit.
A town is under siege.
Is he going to pick up a town portal? Imagine having to town portal from there. He's not going to use it though. It's got Amulet of Spell Shield. Might be a good item for the Lich. He's moving in with the Death Knight. Absorbing the nukes. Straight away with the invul. Could get a nice impale here. Meanwhile, AllTheSmoke doing a lot of damage to the Fiends of Guvnor. Right clicks are strong. Good impale. Disables a lot of Fiends on the left hand side for AllTheSmoke, but the right clicks from the Lich are just making short work of Guvnor's Fiends. It's a trade-off and it's going much quicker and faster for AllTheSmoke. GG. First game to AllTheSmoke. I don't actually have that much of a preference as to what race I fight against. However, that's not strictly true. It's more of a case of there's only one race I don't want to fight against, and that's Night Elf. If any of these players were Night Elves, I probably would have lost already in this tournament. Like if I had to go against any Night Elves. But fortunately, they're not. Game 2, Northern Isles. No disconnect this time. So we're solidly in the game. Crypt Altar for Guvnor. Eerie, isn't it? Being this high up. The sound's even quieter than normal. Crypt Altar Sig. Yep. Both players following the same build, so no Ted Crypt Theme build, which is more for 4 versus 4 RT than anything. But even then in 4 versus 4 RT, I still think it's better just going ghouls for a fast attack. The question is, which hero? Does Guvnor go for... I think he might go Dreadlord. I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to go Dreadlord. Although I think Crit Lord is more favoured in Undead Mirror. Lich first for AllTheSmoke, so even more aggressive. Does that altar block? Yes. What, the top one? Yeah, that does. Yeah, you always just want to have like the main building against a tree and then a cigarette next to it. It's kind of like farms and barracks, that kind of thing. It should really block, but I guess maybe not now. I mean, maybe a ghoul can squeeze through there, but not a hero, I wouldn't have thought. Doesn't look like a hero should be able to go through there. I think my sound's bugged. I don't hear any spell sounds. I do hear that though, the Acolyte getting killed. It was Crypt Lord. I don't know about ambient sounds. They're always so annoying. I'll keep those off for now. Yeah, my Warcraft 3 is just so bugged. Like, there's no music. And there's no spell noise. Oof. Aggro on the creek camp is really rough. I don't know how you managed to do that. You should never have... Maps should never, ever be able to aggro. Creek camp should never be able to aggro if a player's going from, like, point A to point B, in my opinion. They should always be designed... I don't know whether that was accidental on his part of aggro, or whether the creek camp always does it. But that's expensive. It reduces the power of the Lich here by quite a significant amount. Oh, it does that when you disconnect from the previous game. Okay, well there we go. Aggro is made for Night Elf shenanigans. I mean, where's the Night Elf going to put a tree? You can't put a tree in any of these spots because it's all shallow water. The Crypt Lord is like pushing the Lich away, which is normally the other way around. It's like the Lich is the scary one. AllTheSmoke with the tech versus a fast attack from Guvnor. He's bringing in all of his ghouls here. Or at least threatening to do so. So he's prepared for this. AllTheSmoke is just basically blowing smoke. He has no real intention of pushing hard here with just a couple of ghouls. At least he's not going to be successful if he does. There's a solid sort of blockade here, or at least solid enough to make it clunky for the heroes and the units to get in. We've got Graveyard coming up. You're watching 3 different streamers at the same time. I know Brad's is streaming this. That's Diesel Dog. Is Hipposauria streaming this as well? He might be. Probably is, I would think. I feel like this Crypt Lord is gaining speed on the Lich, but feels like they should move at the same speed. Is he getting boosted speed? What's he going for? He is. He bought 2 of them? Is that just so the Crypt Lord can't have it? That is one fast Lich. See. That was tricky, because he wanted to wait until the ghoul got hit one more time, but it wasn't going to happen. The creeps weren't going to do it, so he just had to threaten the ghoul anyway. These boots have got go faster stripes.
What are you doing in my
Very unusual start.
Hi.
Hello there, Casio. Thank you for the 14 months. Very unusual. I mean, it can go on the second hero. AllTheSmoke... I'm not sure what's going on here. Yeah. We'll see. Guvnor seems to have more organization with his macro. So his second hero's on the way, Slaughterhouse. It won't be long until he starts going to tier 3. We have got tier 3 on the way though. No second hero. Can't, because no cigarette for that. Guvnor coming in. Will he get level 3 from this spot? I don't think he will. I'd be surprised. He'd be very generous. He's got tier 2 though, hasn't he? Ah, but his second hero's out. So he won't get the bonus experience. Potion of Greater Healing. Very nice item. Lich will be able to pick this off before Guvnor can get there. Maybe Guvnor knows he's doing it, doesn't want to bother. He's going for the nearest spot, doesn't want to waste too much time creeping. Or rather, you know, moving from creek camp to creek camp. So Lich does take this, but my goodness, those ghouls take a beating. Doesn't go for this spot, which is a possibility, but does leave him very vulnerable if he does. This top spot's a lot safer. Oh yeah, he's got another boost. Gives away his position. Tier 3 almost done. Cigarettes in the back. Slaughterhouse almost up. First obsidian statue already out from Guvnor. Is he going to try? He knows he can do this if he tries, because he knows where his opponent is. Oof, those ghouls. But he's moving around. I thought you would take this spot, even if you can't creep it particularly quickly with the units he has. You just know that your opponent can't reach you in time to stop you, so I would think that would be the higher priority, but I might be wrong. Lich comes back. Skull. The Rod of Necromancy. Orb of Huam. Drops the slippers for the next hero, which will be the Death Knight. Oh, he just sells them. Got a Pendant of Energy, which is one of the better items you can get. More mana. You could do the red spot, maybe. I know it's all brave, but that's kind of how I play. I just do what it is that I think I want to do, not necessarily what I should do. He's going for this spot now, but he's far more vulnerable. Guvnor might be waiting and then come into Creepjack. So I think quite a few ghouls might die. Guvnor decides to pull off and not go for it though. At least not at the moment. Of course they can't see exactly the same things we can see, so their vision is far more impaired, but it just looks like they're going to make that decision, but then they sort of... Are they hesitating, or do they just not know? Anything picked up from the marketplace? He's got a talisman and the health stone, which is a very nice item as well. Continuous healing. Guess he's going to get the experience off the creep camp from Guvnor. Meanwhile, Guvnor might move into his base shortly. That is kind of a hard base to get into, though, without being punished too much. He's pulling back. Looks like he wants to go for his natural, but Guvnor's Lich knows. And AllTheSmoke is backing off, which is probably the smartest idea. Back off more, though, because Impale's coming. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Are those ghouls, they got movement speed buff, right? Yeah? Those are the upgraded ghouls, yeah? Yeah, I think so. Ghoul Frenzy. Picks up his Dark Ranger. Level 3 Crit Lord. Impale on the one ghoul. Hates that ghoul so much. AllTheSmoke is provoked into fighting against this, despite it only being one ghoul that got caught. So this seems like a bit of a blunder. Now the hero in trouble. Since the Death Knight's gone down. Really wants the Death Knight kill. Does manage to get it, so that might make it worth it. At least helps under the circumstance. We got the trifecta here. Obsidian statues from the slaughterhouse, fiends from the crypt, and banshees most likely from the temple. No banshees on this side. Very heavily focusing on ghouls, which can definitely be a strong fighting force as long as you can keep them alive. Lich is going to get more experience here. No level 5. I think Guvnor's going to get better results from his creeping at the moment with a triple hero, more spread. Lich is just going to be hogging a bunch of experience and barely reaching level 5. Although the Death Knight is out now. He's going to make his way to the bottom right. The beetle has found AllTheSmoke's acolyte. There is nowhere else to run. It's over. Just like in the Mummy, the beetles will get you. You can't outrun them for long. Those beetles were really overpowered in the Mummy, weren't they? I'm talking about the 1999 one with Brendan Fraser. I haven't actually seen the 2017 one yet. I heard it's a really good movie. I'll probably still watch it though, just because it's got Tom Cruise in it. Helm of Valor. Oh, that has been changed now. Yeah. I wasn't sure whether that buff went through in the previous patch or the upcoming one. It's strength and agility by 5 instead of 4. I guess it's pretty big. Plus 10 stats, essentially. It's not bad for one item slot. Do I like Tom Cruise? I like his movies. Lich in trouble. There is a item. Was it passed over? Oh, I see. I think he tried to pass over the invul, but the Lich had a full inventory. Because I was like, the Lich is going to use an invul in a moment, because the Death Knight went right over to him. This gives a huge advantage to AllTheSmoke. Absolutely steamrolling now, really going with it. Just can't afford to lose a hero, and he's in it. Death Knight, really hard right clicks from that Lich. Fast ones as well. That was a massive boost for AllTheSmoke. If Guvnor was able to get that invul, that could have made so much of a difference, but he just... I think he forgot just how... Oh, wow, he actually picks off the Death Knight as well. AllTheSmoke is in a very strong position now. I guess... Expansion? Oh, that's a sneaky one there. I'll be interested to see if that plays off, but it's almost like the skeleton knows more than I do. Because he's already heading over there. Some people are really good with their scouting. I don't do this enough. It always irritates me when I play 1 versus 1, and I go and do something that I think is really sneaky, and then literally like 1 to 2 seconds after I've done it, aka like an expansion or something, a skeleton warrior or a beetle or a footman just casually walk and find it. And I'm like, was I just really unlucky with my timing there, or was I just way obvious? I don't know. I'll be looking for another invul. 20 seconds might be worth waiting for it because it's such an important item. But he doesn't. He's moving. How many units? He's got a few ghouls left at base. It's 725 lumber. I'm pretty sure he could take 2 more ghouls at least. So he's pretty scary here with the 48 food, but he's against 49. And a few of those ghouls are back at base, so... Could go wrong. Destroyers should be pretty effective versus ghouls. Even the obsidian statues. Stepping into the base. Right click with the ghouls. The Frost Nova. Big impale though. And the Dark Ranger in a lot of trouble. Needs a coil fast. Does not get it. Oh, just gets it in time. Oh, that was... Cannot get that any closer, to be frank with you. Dark Ranger still just standing there though, waiting to get killed. But the Death Knight is ready for the coil. And I think the damage from Guvnor just isn't high or hard enough to actually impact, because he missed out on a couple of kills there, which if he had just an extra bit of damage, an extra claws or attack or something, maybe that would have been enough. So he's not getting much out of this fight. The obsidian statues into the destroyers are certainly annoying, but they can't really do too much against heroes. So Guvnor is forced to retreat and leave his expansion open to AllTheSmoke. Yep, time to get the fiends for the web. AllTheSmoke. This little beetle that could, but won't. Another Nova. Lich out of mana now, so no more Frost Nova threat. The ghouls are here to help. They've come over, made use of themselves, and they can chop trees over there. Where's Guvnor's food supply? 51 food. Okay. He's against 45, so Guvnor's still got the majority of the units. Of course, the destroyers are taking up the bulk of that. 15 food's worth. And they're going to get more and more useless as the game goes on, because the fiends are coming out and the power control seems to lie in AllTheSmoke's heroes at the moment. Looks like the gold mine's taken down. Can't be bothered right-clicking the necropolis. That's far too much work. More creeping here for Guvnor. Every little counts and helps. Wand of Lightning Shield's not going to accomplish too much though. AllTheSmoke's expansion about to be breached. However, he has to respond to the threat on the left. The beetles move in, but nothing else. The ghouls are still there though, aren't they? Yeah, they are. And now AllTheSmoke has repositioned himself with the comfort of the Blight. Governor's in a very tricky spot. Acolytes turning into shades? Can we see a shade? Does he need a shade? He has the power at the moment. This fiend thinks it's a ghoul chopping trees, but it is not. Boneyard? Oh my. And a Temple of the Damned. Scary frostworms. Very good for picking off heroes because their slow lasts so long. What is left? The 2 green spots? And we got level... Oh, I was about to say 5 because it's just that close. He may as well be level 5. Oh. I thought that reveal was the other way around and he was just about to spot the shade. But it is AllTheSmoke's reveal and shade. He got my favourite item, which is the crystal ball. The item that seems to follow me around wherever I go. Okay, here we go. This could be the last fight. Lich in a great position for some strong Frost Novas with a bunch of bunched up fiends. The ghouls get a massive impale. Massive damage to those. Scroll of healing potentially? Yes, goes for it. And 2 fiends down. Observer, or rather destroyers, webbed down to the ground, but not the highest priority on the kill target. It's the banshees, it's the fiends, it's the obsidian statues that are going down right now. Leaving the, well, the destroyers to do a little bit of damage, but not too much. Heroes seem okay, although the Lich... I shouldn't have spoke so quickly. Level 3 Lich from Guvnor down, which is a huge deal because you're losing your Orb of Qualm. And that's where your damage comes from. Crypt Lord trying to bail out. Doesn't know. What can he do though? If he walks away, the expansion still sits there for smoke, so he's kind of forced to carry on. AllTheSmoke's threatened with his Death Knight, but he does have the Hellstone if he really wants to use it, but he's trying to hold on to it, which I would do as well because I'm greedy. And there he goes. He plays it safe now and just uses the damn thing, so the threat is no longer there that he accidentally just loses the Death Knight. Lich in trouble. Only 1 coil potentially from the Death Knight. Give it 5 seconds or so. Maybe a bit longer than that with the regeneration. So it's actually AllTheSmoke that's backing off from this fight. And Guvnor has actually refit his expansion. So somehow it actually looks like Guvnor came out of that quite well. But bear in mind that we don't have the Frostworm or anything like that because the macro from AllTheSmoke seems to be a little bit behind. So I don't think he had like the full force of his power with him during that fight. So that was probably about as good as it gets for Guvnor in terms of timing. Not having to fight first as a Frostworm on top of everything else. Lich actually able to pick off at least 1 Banshee? Yeah. Maybe the second one if he can get a block. The right clicks are strong, but the coil denies. Fiends here. Wasn't there 2 fiends here? I think he pulled this one back from there instead of leaving it up there to do some damage. There's probably not even many ghouls spare. Yeah, Governor's only got 1 ghoul. 2 ghouls on lumber. Because you kind of pull these units off as you get excess amounts of lumber and then they get killed in battles. So it's not like he has a surplus of ghouls. He can right click over to here to defend his expansion. But his units are coming in. And that fiend is probably not going to make it very far. I'll be amazed if it gets all the way back to base. He's trying. But he's being chased by his bigger older brother. He wants to beat him up. He's got sick of it and just impales him. Doesn't want a coil coming to save the Lich. AllTheSmoke secures his expansion. In a great spot to buy some nice stuff. He's got Potion of Healing, Potion of Mana. He's picking up Scroll of Protection, which is an odd one because there's still Destroyers to fight against. Unless he wants to use the Scroll and then absorb it with his own Destroyer, which is, I guess, would be the plan to do. But maybe he's just going to use it because he's just like, screw it. And hope that his opponent doesn't realise they can use the... What was it? Devour magic. We're missing... I think the music's actually in there now, but we're missing the sound from spells. The music is very passive. It's not as lively as the orc or human music. And I think it's because we're zoomed out a bit. It has like an effect. Right, big attack. Frostworm. Right clicks on the fiends. Frostworm brought down to its knees, but ignored because there's higher priorities right now by the looks of it. Going for the fiends. Guvnor got protection on his heroes, but the Banshees are vulnerable at the back. We've got AllTheSmoke just charging through those Banshees regardless of the anti-magic shell and the other fiends. Impale does buy a little bit of time, but I think these fiends from Guvnor look too vulnerable. His army in general is starting to fall apart. And we've also got Banshees protecting potentially AllTheSmoke. Needs an anti-magic shell as well as a potion of healing and the coil. And then he's Kushti. Keep that Lich back because the right clicks are strong. It's the Orb of Huam that's doing that damage. AllTheSmoke does have a bit vulnerableness with the Death Knight, but it does have the Invul potion to keep it alive. Still with these destroyers actually just doing their bit. It's kind of a clunky fight, this one. 63 food though for AllTheSmoke versus Guvnor's 54 food. Comes down to who can pick off a hero now at this stage. And both Liches... Oh! Wait, that was the Banshee. Guvnor's Death Knight in trouble. Is there another Frost Nova? He's not deciding whether he's going to go for it or not. And leaving his own Death Knight up for grabs. I'm a bit worried this Death Knight's going to just walk into the other Death Knight in a moment if he doesn't pay attention to it. He does actually manage to pick off the Lich though whilst that's happening and sneak away with his Death Knight because of course Guvnor's Death Knight couldn't coil the other Lich. That's how I pronounce it. What, Guvnor? Yeah, Guvnor. And Guvnor calls the GG, which means AllTheSmoke takes this semi-finals 2-0. And he'll be facing against me in a moment in the finals, I think. Stay tuned for that.